She stole it. Not money, not jewelry, not something small that could be replaced. She stole the one thing I could never get back, and I didn't find out from her. I found out from a stranger in a grocery store. If you've ever trusted someone with your future, stay with me, because this one hurt differently. 3 years ago, I left the United States for England. It wasn't glamorous. I moved for a job opportunity in Manchester, better pay, international exposure, and the chance to build something solid for myself. But I didn't move alone. At least, not emotionally. I was engaged. Her name was Rachel. We had been together for 6 years. College sweethearts. Shared bank account. Shared dreams. Shared plans. Before I left, we made a promise. Long distance for 2 years. Save aggressively. Then she would join me in England. We would start fresh. Simple. Clear. Committed. The first year went smoothly. We FaceTimed every night. We planned wedding dates. We discussed neighborhoods in London. We even picked baby names. And every month, I sent money back. Not because she asked. Because we were building our future. The wedding fund. The house deposit. The life fund. Everything went into a joint savings account. Or at least, that's what I believed. Then things shifted. Subtly at first. She started missing calls. Shorter responses. Delayed replies. When I asked if everything was okay, she blamed work stress. I believed her. When she said she needed to withdraw some money for venue reservations, I approved it instantly. It was our wedding. Why wouldn't I? But the withdrawals became more frequent. Small at first, then larger. Each time, there was a reason. Vendor deposit, dress appointment, travel booking. And every time, I trusted her. Because that's what love does. It assumes loyalty. Then one afternoon, everything changed. I was in a grocery store in Manchester, standing in the cereal aisle. I heard my name. Not a common name. My full name. I turned around. It was Hannah, Rachel's old co-worker. We hadn't spoken in years. She looked surprised to see me. Wait, aren't you supposed to be back in the States for the wedding? My heart skipped. What wedding? Her face changed instantly. The kind of expression people make when they realize they've said too much. She hesitated. I just saw photos last week. I felt like the floor dropped. Photos of what? She swallowed. Rachel's engagement party. Engagement. Party. The words didn't connect. She's engaged, Hannah said softly. But I thought you guys broke up. Broke up? I couldn't hear anything after that. The store noise faded. The fluorescent lights felt too bright. My chest tightened. I forced myself to speak. Who is she engaged to? She told me. A guy from her new job. They had been dating for over a year. Publicly. Openly. On social media. With pictures. With captions. With comments from family congratulating them. Family. Our family. I didn't argue. I didn't react. I walked out of that store without buying anything. I sat in my car, and I opened Instagram. There it was. Photos I had never seen. Her in a white dress, holding his hand. A ring I didn't buy. A smile I recognized. And the caption, finally marrying my best friend. My hands were shaking. I scrolled back further. Beach trips, anniversary dinners, matching outfits, dates that overlap with a night she told me she was too tired to talk. Then I checked the joint account. It was almost empty. £38,000. Gone. Our wedding fund. Our house deposit. 3 years of savings. She didn't just move on. She used the money to build a life with someone else. She stole it. Not just the money. The future. The years. The plans. The trust. I called her immediately. She answered on the second ring. Like nothing was wrong. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I simply asked, why didn't you tell me? Silence. Then a sigh. I didn't know how. That was her answer. Not sorry. Not remorseful. I didn't know how. She admitted everything calmly. She met him a year after I left. She felt lonely. She needed someone present. She didn't want to hurt me. She thought the distance would make us fade naturally. So instead of breaking up honestly, she kept me as backup, as security, as funding. The engagement party, my money paid for it. The venue, my money. The ring, my money. Even the photographer, mine. I asked one last question. Were you ever going to tell me? Another pause. I thought you'd eventually figure it out. Eventually, like this was an unpaid subscription that would just expire quietly. I hung up, not because I was strong, but because I realized something brutal. She didn't respect me. And respect, once gone, doesn't return. The next morning, I called a lawyer, because this wasn't just heartbreak. It was fraud. Joint account or not, there were agreements. There were documented transfers. There were wedding contracts in my name. I gathered everything. Screenshots, bank statements, messages. 2 months later, reality hit her. Her fiancé found out. Not from me, from the legal notice. Turns out, he didn't know about me either. He didn't know she was still legally tied to a joint account. He didn't know where the funds came from. He didn't know she was engaged once before. The engagement ended quietly. No dramatic posts. No beach photos. Silence. As for the money, I recovered most of it. Not all, but enough. Enough to close that chapter properly. And here's a part no one expects. 6 months later, she called, crying, regretful, alone, saying she made a mistake, saying she lost everything. But here's the truth. She didn't lose everything. She gambled everything, and she lost. There's a difference. I learned something painful from that experience. When someone steals from you emotionally, it hurts. When they steal from you financially, it stings. But when they steal your time, that's the deepest wound, because time doesn't refund. But here's what she didn't steal. My ability to rebuild, my clarity, my standards. A year later, I bought a small apartment in Manchester, alone, not with bitterness, not with revenge, with wisdom. Because sometimes betrayal isn't the end of your story. It's a filter that protects your next chapter. So let me ask you something. If you found out the person you were building a future with was secretly building it with someone else, would you forgive? Would you fight for the money? Or would you walk away quietly? Be honest. And if this story made you feel something real, subscribe. Because sometimes the most dangerous theft is the one disguised as love.